Y'all have been asking for a long time for me to come up with a new pie crust recipe that doesn't have any almond flour, any coconut flour, that's gluten-free, and still absolutely delicious. So today, this is what I've come up with, and you're absolutely gonna love it. This is gonna be great with any kind of low-carb pie that you wanna make, or any kind of regular pie you wanna make if you just can't have the almonds. I'm gonna give you a few great ideas for some in the video. So sit back and relax, check out how I make this, and just know that now there's a great option for you that you'll absolutely enjoy. Stick around. The base of this recipe is going to be oat fiber. Now I always try to use ingredients that are easily accessible, but almond flour is. This is not, but I'll put links to everything I use down in the description for you. If you can't use almond flour, this is a great option. So I'm going to start with 1 1/4 cups of this. Next, I'm going in with 2 1/2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Now I know I said no coconut flour, so if you can't use this, use an unflavored protein powder. This one works really well. Using protein powder is also what's going to make it zero carb, or as close to zero carb as you can possibly get. I mean, so's the coconut flour really, but if you can't have it, use the protein. I'm making this for my family and I can have coconut flour, so that's what I'm going to use. If you're using the coconut flour, use 2 1/2 tablespoons. If you're using the protein powder, use 2 tablespoons. Then I'm going in with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of cinnamon. For the sweetener, I'm going to go in with 2 1/2 tablespoons of my powdered sweetener. I'll put a link for this video right up here. It just saves you some money over buying it in the store, but you can use your favorite low-carb powdered sweetener. I'm going to give this a good mix and we'll get our wet ingredients together. I went ahead and preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And now that this is all mixed together real well, we'll add in our wet ingredients. First thing I'm going to do is add an egg yolk and the whole egg into here. I just like to beat this up first just so you don't run into the issue of not being able to beat it up proper once it gets in with the dry ingredients. To that, I'm going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of some good vanilla extract. Beaver free, of course. I've got 7 1/2 tablespoons of melted butter right here. I'm going to pour that in first. Let's get that all well combined, and I'll go in with the egg and the vanilla. Now I'm just going to give this a good mix until this comes together like a nice soft little dough. This is a variation on the one that I used in that apple pie video, but I tweaked it a little bit so it wasn't quite as dry. So I think you're really going to love it. After this comes together, I'll show you what it looks like and we'll move on to the next step. So when it's done, it should come together kind of like that. It's still going to be kind of sandy, like you're just starting to put together a sandcastle. That's absolutely right. Once I got it mixed up pretty good like this, I'm going to go in with my hands to finish the job. This oat fiber is really, really absorbent, so you're going to make sure everything's really well combined, all that liquid soaked up in there to get the right crust for what we're wanting here. I've got a 9 1/2 inch pie plate right here. I'm just going to give it a good spray down with some avocado oil. We don't want this to stick. Make sure you get it real good like that. Make sure it's well greased up and down the sides, and you'll be good to go. I'm going to pour this in now and see how you still got some chunks in there. Just kind of break them up as best you can. Like I said, it looks like you're building a sandcastle here, right? Let's get those big chunks broken up. When it's mostly like that, I'm going to pour it right into here. And then the fun part, just press it down. We're going to go up the sides, on the bottom. We're going to make a full legit crust right here. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I get done. After you got it pressed in there like that, I'm going to go in the 350 degree oven. I'm going to bake this for 10 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. After 10 minutes, I'm going to take it out of the oven, and this is what it should look like. You're going to have just a little bit of browning around the edges. And if you're going with a pie It's not going to be cooked. You may want to let it go until it gets nice and golden brown. I'm just pre-baking this for a few minutes because I'm making a pumpkin pie. It's going in the oven and it's going to be absolutely delicious. If you're not a fan of pumpkin pie and you want two really great apple pie recipes, they got about 1/10 the amount of carbs as a regular apple pie. I'll put those two videos right over here. I think you'll find one of them that you're going to love and nobody will know that it's not apple. See you on the next video.